Holy crap! What's happening? You ready for this?
No.
Whoa! They call that a crispy boy.
He means.
Hey. Okay,
There
yours
you
was
go.
better. Whoa!
Mine got stuck.
I didn't realize those residual checks for you being on that album came in. Look at your palace.
This is Keith the Boogie's pantry when he makes all that Boku bucks and has his own cult on an island right here. This is where he would trade Rosario. This is what he would do with Rosario Dawson money right here.
Freaking aim. Well,
This is how he
Maniac,
started his cult.
Yep.
we
He said
made
he-
it. Is this
he-
my?
If
Is
you,
this
hold
my-
on, before
Go
we go on, for the record, Keith the Boogie said he would trade places with Rosario Dawson to form a cult on an island with Rosario Dawson money.
Of artists.
Sorry.
I misread his name, and then I couldn't even say her name correctly because his name's Risotto, and then I said Rosario, and it just went into this whole thing.
A whole thing. Well, Maniacs, I don't even know what number we're on because this podcast has been going on that strong. Thanks to the lovely people at Voodoo Ranger and
Yay.
Voodoo Ranger.
Just say we're on episode 169. You can't go wrong with that.
Nice.
Yep.
B Corp certified, employee owned, proud supporter of Ringer Tees and great boobs. I'm gonna keep leaning in on that. You can't stop me.
I mean, none of us are gonna stop you, but
Episode 4, 2069. That's very true.
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Sage loves it. Sage,
So,
you're looking wonderful. Looking comfortable.
comfy as those heck.
Comfy as freaking heck.
Because
Maniacs,
Joe's out
we are
there.
not coming to you from Studio 212. We are coming to you from our separate homes of comfort. Still in the Pacific Northwest. We are the internet's very best video game podcast where your argument is...
boobs.
Your argument is boob. Well,
Yeah,
no,
there
your
you go.
argument isn't boobs. Our argument is boobs. Our argument is awesome. Your argument is
Invalid.
invalid and debatable. Our argument is tip top. Everybody
Mhm.
loves boobs. Boobs are great.
They are.
Yeah.
We have boobs in our podcast, man, and it's not cancel Twitch boobs where, hey, you're not even playing games. What's up with your, whatever. That's a whole other topic, isn't it?
That's just chatting, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the hot tub meta.
is that Chatterbait? Isn't there an app?
Omegle.
Omegle?
Mhm.
That's for sex?
That's for whatever.
I feel
Ooh.
old hearing that word, and I don't even know what that word is.
Mm.
Well, I'm glad to be back. I
Welcome
don't
back.
know. Have I been back in 2022 yet?
No, I don't think so.
Welcome. I've been to Hawaii. You can't tell because
they
of my
stay the
amazing
same.
lighting here, but I'm a good, half a shade darker. And you know what?
You don't got the bikini tan line? You can't just be like, look at my bra strap.
Look at that.
No, he doesn't have
Look at that right
boobs.
there.
Nope.
Wait, do I have a?
Oh, we can't see under your name.
Yeah, Lucky Bandit's blocking it. It's blocking the
Is
good
there
parts.
a tan line?
Oh, we can't tell.
I can't
You're-
tell.
Oh,
And plus,
maybe.
I can't tell from your pants either. You're the same color as your pants. Your
It
pants
all
are flesh
blends
colored.
I'm like the Poils, not the McPoils. What's the name of the family of Joe Latruglio from Brooklyn Nine-Nine? They all wear flesh-colored clothing. So bad.
I'll be honest with you. I've not seen more than like 2 minutes of that show total.
Well, it's done. No one wants to watch Funny Cops. They're
I remember Barney Miller. Wasn't that Funny Cop show?
Maybe.
Keith the Boogie, back me up. Barney Miller. Remember that show? Stacy
Whatever.
Keith? No. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, Maniacs, we're going to do quick introductions real quick. I've already introduced our sponsor. I'll introduce them a little more. Everybody, just to let you know, can you hold up that drink, my dear friend? We have Voodoo Ranger IPA. Oh, what do you have?
I am finishing up my New Belgium Summer Bliss Tropical Wheat.
Oh, what? I
Ooh.
want that.
It's
You were
tasty.
And
drinking
it's
that one,
so
weren't you?
white.
Yeah, so it's a nice, refreshing taste of summer in an expired beer can.
Nice.
Yeah, well, New Belgium is the parent company of Voodoo Ranger, but our sponsor is Voodoo Ranger. We will get more drinks soon. I have not contacted Lauren in 1,000 years, and we need to contact her and get more drinks our way. B Corp certified, employee owned. Like really fun takes on IPAs, by the way. You know, they have the juicy ones. They have the double IPA, which will knock you on your ass. They have the really hop forward ones, but they have what did the 1984 taste like, or the 1980 the 80s one?
It was a nice fruity one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one was kind of fruity. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, they do a lot of fun stuff, and their social media is on top of it. So bless them. Thank you. That's why it's on our name way up there above Dynamic Hunter's head.
They are very
Beer.
engaged with the gaming community. They do a lot of sponsorships in gaming besides us, so that's pretty cool too. So if you want to support a business that supports gamers, legit grassroots type stuff like us, then yeah, they're also a good brand for that.
And yeah, so good for them. Check them out. They're at Voodoo Ranger. Is it Voodoo Ranger IPA? Frick. We're the worst. We're like, hey, how do we follow our sponsor? Is it Voodoo Ranger? It's like, geez, it might be Voodoo Ranger IPA. I don't remember.
You have 50-50 chance of getting it right.
Mm-hmm.
You type one, it'll show up with the other if it's incorrect.
It's just Voodoo Ranger. Okay. And remember, they have other breweries, but they are based out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Go Broncos!
Yeah, what are they there? Yeah, the Broncos. What's Colorado State? What's Colorado U? Aren't they the Buffalo? I forgot. The Bison. I forgot.
The Bison. Something ridiculous.
Delicious.
But check them out. Give them some money. Make sure they know. And like, if you can, man, that's what we need to ask for. We need to get a freaking promo code. So
I was gonna say, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that we sent them. It's like, oh yeah, that Drizzly order is from frickin' Saltier. So we're gonna start our introductions because we're a whole 10 minutes in already. Maniacs, I am Lucky Bandit, also known as Loud and Brown, also known as Gross Death with a PH if you're on Steam or PlayStation. I've been on this podcast from, and this is what the kids say, the jump.
Is that what the kids say?
Don't they? Did they stop saying that?
I don't know.
I'm 1,000 years old.
As the youngest one here, I don't think the kids say that.
Oh no.
From the jump. I think it's like a 90s phrase, man.
Okay. I've been on this podcast since the TikTok Jenner Taylor Swift Geck 3000.
You've been on here since Vine was a thing. So to most kids, Vine was back in the day.
Dude, people don't even remember.
2014 was like back in the day.
2014?
Yeah, that was back in the day, man. So if you say you've been on
No, we haven't been a podcast since 2014.
No, I haven't even known you that long.
Yeah, maybe 20. I'm saying 2016.
2016.
Which, now that I think about it, that's 6 years. Mark Maron, help us out. Get this thing to grow. Anyway, what I've been playing this week is shocking. Me and one of my old Street Fighter buddies had a 4-hour session of Guilty Gear. Had a lot of fun. Played all the games. And guess what? It's not this week. But in future weeks, I might come back to a MOBA shooter that I used to hate and then played and then hate again. But now with their new ownership, I might be playing again soon.
It's still them, though, for the next year and a half. So
yeah, so
year and a half?
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, we'll get into that. That.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that later.
That's all I played. The only other games I'm excited about are, you know, I may or may not have Cyberman come over and hop some bars with us, but maybe we'll play some Scott Pilgrim. I have it on disc for the PlayStation 4.
Wow.
I did that extra step.
Nice.
But I'm going to move it up to the leggy lipstick.
This guy gets a girl. And he's all flirty now. What's going on?
Yeah, because I'm never flirty. That's never happened, right?
I've devolved into being a blob in my chair. This will be the last podcast I am doing from this room.
Oh, wow. Okay, to the blob. Let's
The
go.
blob. Hey, it's me, Sage Bell. I will be back streaming next week. So this week or since you've seen me last, I have picked up playing Genshin again, sort of. I'm very slow at playing the game, so I haven't even like gone far enough to get a draw, like one of the free draws. So
You said Genshin Impact?
yeah, okay.
Okay.
Am I at a bad angle? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I've been playing some Genshin, and then I've been playing a lot of Borderlands 2.
Borderlands 2 is a good one. I got a lot of hours.
So I'm playing the Gunzerker, and I think I'm gonna switch it because we're far enough that I can match a different character now.
Mhm.
Because my gameplay style does not match the Gunzerker's build style, because I naturally gravitate towards sniper rifles and pistols and SMGs, and to be a Gunzerker, you need like shotguns, SMGs, and assault rifles. You need just like blah 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 blah, because when he ults, he has 2 guns.
Yeah.
And you need fast reload guns. So I'm kind of like slowly getting better at them, but at the same time, I think I could utilize my gameplay style with my friend better.
So in that case, it sounds like you're looking for either Zero or Maya, the Siren.
Yeah, I have a Siren that's the right level.
Nice.
And then my friend's playing the Necromancer.
Okay.
So it's like you don't really need 2 tanky characters.
Mm-hmm.
You got a tank. they launch on their own.
Nice. All right. Borderlands 2. That's a classic.
Yeah. He's never fully played it through, and he never really got to learn the story or do any of the side quests. So I'm like letting him lead it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a whole lot. You guys will be playing that for a while.
Yeah, and he's never played the first game, so it's like whenever something comes up, I let the story happen, and then I explain the backstory.
So he's starting off fresh into Borderlands on Borderlands 2?
He's played through a lot of it, but that person never did side quests. They only like just burst through the main story, so he never really learned anything, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, because if you aren't the one doing the quest, you can't read the information. You don't learn the story. And if you just accept things multiple times, the characters will not continue dialogue. They'll go to the next dialogue.
Gotcha.
So,
all right.
And I still have a bad gambling habit in Borderlands.
Stop gambling.
It's Borderlands. It's not even real money.
Yeah.
Let's go to Vegas.
That's you.
I don't gamble.
So yeah, you can follow me on Twitch and Twitter at SageBell, and stay tuned for more information on more places to follow me when I create more content again, starting next week. And over to you.
Over to the grown-ass man in the one curtain of green screen.
Yeah. It's supposed to
I
go
like your
across
new
the
camera
back.
setup, though. What's with the blur? Is that to focus on you better?
That's just to get rid of, like, as you can see, I'm like borderline hoarder. Like, you don't need to see this in like detail.
Borderlands hoarder.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, you don't need to see this in detail. Basically, is what this is. This is the save rings ... This is my messy room. But yeah, usually I'm facing this way when we're doing the podcast with my computer and stuff over this way.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now I
Change
turn
your setup.
because my TV's right here, so I've been playing all my PC stuff on my TV right here.
Nice. What's your TV? To give a recommendation to the maniacs out there. Also, we got Vince on chat, baby. Hi, baby.
What's up, Vince?
Up.
It's the last year model, the 2021 LG OLED. It's the 49-inch one. I can't remember. It's not an X series. There's like a CX and like a CA series. I think mine's like the CA series or the C1 series or something like that. But it's an OLED, 48-inch, 4K.
Is the OLED that much of a jump from the regular ones?
Yes. It
okay,
is.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. What have you been playing, my buddy?
Oh, I've been playing the huge. I've been playing the Final Fantasy 14s, and I've been playing a little bit of Stellaris this week. I didn't play it a whole lot, considering that this week their open beta came out, and they're going to be surprised. They're going to be making major changes to the game, and I wanted to kind of test drive some of them. So I installed the beta. I switched over to the beta, but I haven't played it yet. And there was some other stuff, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But that's really been about it. I've just been working and playing Final Fantasy, and the further you go on in that game and the more you unlock, the more convenient it is. It's not very convenient unlocking everything, but once you do and you turn around and you want to do something else, it just kind of speeds through. For example, it took me probably about a month to get from like level 1 to maybe like level 40, 45, 50. In the last 2 days, I've leveled 2 jobs from like level 8 or 9 to like level 30. Because now I know what to do and now it's all unlocked. What's up? So yeah, and I'm sure that's the case with like any other MMO or any other type of game. Like once you beat it the first time, you like know what to do and know where to go and stuff like that. So I don't know. I made about 2 months worth of progress in like the last like 3 or 4 days on that game. So it's like, I don't know, it's pretty funny. But other than that, I'm just checking my email every day for my email from Valve so I can put my money down on my Steam Deck because those are supposed to be shipping sometime next week or sometime next month, in theory. But that's really about it. Yeah, hooked my Xbox up to this TV for the first time and up to my neighbor's TV. Both have OLED, so I wanted to see what it looked like. Looks okay. Xbox Series S, looks the same. It looks better than on my older like 2014 1080p TV that I have in the next room. But that's been about it. I just been doing that and watching a lot of playthroughs. And,
yeah, but do you have 20 consoles hooked up at the same time like Vince rants?
I can't. that would blow the circuit over here probably.
20, dude. Vince, man, what a champion he is.
Yeah, because like for this part of the house, there's 3 TVs, an Xbox, and a Switch right over there. Not 3 TVs, 3 computers, an Xbox, and a Switch over there. In here, there's 2 computers, only one's usually on, and then there's usually like 1 or 2 laptops running at a time. So if you like plug in a toaster anywhere near this section of the house, this all goes down. Like we're already at the limit. Like if you go in there and turn on the heater or the air conditioner, you might have to like turn off the TV to make up for the heater being on. So yeah. But that's all I got. We'll get into it a little bit more. I'm sure I'm forgetting stuff, but
we're going to move on to the first topic because we're 18 minutes in. But here's the question. Me or a PS5? Come on. Me or a PS5?
You.
Thank you.
Yeah, you. Because PS5s, it's like there's only like 3 actual PS5 games. One of them is Returnal.
Yeah, and so what's the news with... Yeah, there's a shortage?
Yes, there is a shortage. This one's for a little later, but we could bring this up now. So
what do you mean a little later? It's at the top of the freaking list.
No, it's not.
Sony last gen solution for PS5 shortage. Row 6.
More PS4s.
Oh, okay.
That's the first topic we have, my dude.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then just out of curiosity, I have been hearing rumblings that this PS5 shortage is coming to an end. Nothing official, just things I've been hearing on certain websites and whatnot. And I'm like, okay. And it's something that I think Sony's kind of starting. But just out of curiosity, I went to Walmart and I looked it up. And yes, you can order that. You can put that in your cart. There's a guaranteed shipping date by the 27th, which is like in 3 days. You can have a PS5 for the low price of $819 brand new from Walmart.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's $319 over MSRP. So Walmart's scalping PS5s. That's what I'm
sounds
seeing
about
here.
right.
Yeah.
I
think Walmart's buying them from scalpers and just selling them.
Well, Walmart and Target and Amazon all do third-party sellers on their sites, and they don't tell you.
Yeah. Oh, here
so
you
you
go.
can order from Target or Amazon or Walmart and still end up with something that like shows up incorrectly.
Yeah, because as you can see right there under the price, it says sold by Pro Electronics Distributing Company.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is a third party underneath there, but it's brand new. It should be $499.99. So just manufacturers don't believe in MSRP anymore. Just charge $300 more because it's a PS5.
Also, real talk. What year is this? It's 2022.
Mm-hmm.
You still have gamers supporting Walmart. They don't understand. First of all, this is probably the most socialist video game podcast on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
We don't that's not who we tango with. Walmart, they're poison. I don't know if I've even set foot in one in over a decade.
I mean, there aren't
the
any
money.
within the city.
Yeah, and plus up here, there aren't any up here, really.
Exactly, because in Seattle knows that they're fucked, and that's not who we That's not who we tango with.
Well, not only that, but just like how the land is around here. Like, where are you gonna have a Walmart? Pretty much.
All the way up north.
Oh no, you
almost
could have had
never.
one. We have a Costco. We got a Target. It's just their
Yeah, but
agendas
Costco
does not
started here.
doesn't equate with the Seattle mindset. For example, you can't buy uncensored albums at a Walmart.
Yeah, same thing at Best Buy. Best Buy sells censored albums half the time.
Yeah, but they have the regular albums. Walmart will not send you. They don't sell any language, like bad language albums, and their hip hop selection is egregious.
What even? I don't know, but yeah. So Walmart's scalping. So
Yeah,
I thought
fuck them.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
I hope
basically.
they get a bad rap. I hope people figure out how awful they are.
Yeah.
Next topic. I don't want to talk about Walmart too long, or I'm gonna get angry.
Yeah. So that's
but-
originally off the original story. Sony is not making more. They're just going to continue making them longer than they thought. So they're not like bumping up production. But basically, this was kind of a story that kind of went around. Sony kind of commented on it, and that's where I got the part about how they're just going to continue making them for the foreseeable future. But PS4s are getting difficult. They are getting harder to find than they were like maybe like a year or two ago. A year or two ago, you could go into a store and trip over them, like they were everywhere. So yeah, but the kind of the joke and kind of like the little rumor and the whispers going around was, the solution for no PS5s is to make more PS4s, which to me is kind of sad. The PS4, as you all know, if you've been watching this podcast for a while, from a tech perspective, was long in the tooth before it even came out. So for this thing to be lingering any longer than it has to from a hardware standpoint, and that goes for the Xbox One series as well, even the One X, it's kind of unfortunate. It's going to take a little bit longer for games to get off of that and be purely next gen.
And that as much as this is true, I'm still rocking my PS4. I bought it year 2.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you hang out at the U District? Saverings?
Like never.
Okay. There is a ramshackle bodega of a thrift store on the Ave that sells DVDs, CDs, and consoles and stereos. And I got my PlayStation 4 for $250.
Nice.
Year 2.
Nice.
And it was repaired with a 30-day guarantee. That's the reason I got it.
Nice.
Because I could play it for a while, make sure everything worked, and I didn't have to worry, and I didn't have to deal with Sony's mail in. Oh, my thing didn't work. I could just walk back to U District and go, "Hey, you sold me a lemon. Give me my money back."
Yeah.
And remember, I only bought this thing because I thought Kingdom Hearts 3 was going to come out, and they did not promise any other consoles that it was going to come out.
Yeah, that's true.
So I doubled down on the PS4.
Yeah. And plus everything you play on there, your fighting games and your little indie games and Overwatch as well, like those all run at 60, right?
They run great. I mean, the thing is, when everybody has a discussion about specs, and Sage knows this, I have like a 9-year-old TV. Specs don't really matter. It's a 1080p Vizio. If things run on it, I'm happy.
Yeah, but it's got the basics though, so you don't really need too much past it. 1080p, 60 FPS, like that's what you need for like your fighting games and your shooters and stuff. But if it was lacking, like, let's say the PC that you built, let's say the graphics card you got didn't have some feature that's now, or the graphics card you had some kind of output on it, right? Because your TV's older, say like the very next year after your TV was made, there's this new feature that's like on everything since then.
I see what you mean.
It would just be stuff like that. So
PS4 it was the perfect purchase for, what was it, 2014.
Yeah.
Like that was a no-brainer. I watched Netflix on it.
I mean for that stuff, but like as far as like the actual hardware in it compared to
Thank you, London.
Yes, thank you. Compared to what was even out at the same time that it came out, or even compared to what was out at the same time that the chipset it was based on, because the chipset it's based on is based on something that was like 2 or 3 years old.
We got a question.
What's up, Sega?
I would like to point out to our chat to our team that chat. We have Skylar in the chat.
Oh, wait, which chat?
It's
YouTube?
in YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh,
if you go to
frickin-
comments, you can view all.
Your PC's better now. What's going on, Skylar?
I know
His
we haven't
PC
seen
go
that.
down. What happened to
He,
him?
he said he traded his 1080 Mini for a bricked PS5. Best deal ever.
Look.
I saw
Oh.
him this week. That beautiful angel came in with his mom. His mom is so cool.
But yeah, I
His
see what
mom
you're saying.
parties.
Ooh, you got the 3090. What? Why? What'd you get? You play Valheim. What do you need a 3090 for? Anyway,
Or other things. You know,
play
Cyberpunk.
League of Legends in Valheim. What the heck do you need a 3090 for? You're gonna play it at like 8,000 FPS? Like, what are you doing?
Hell yeah, why not?
I know. Also, Jicka Monte Cristo's hanging out.
Nice.
All right, we got chat. We got Vince. Wait, older consoles use larger, older fab process, which is plenty available still.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know what that means. What is a fab process?
Well, it's the size of the little circuits that's actually on it. Like you might hear stuff's like 14 nanometer or 28 nanometer. The smaller it is, the smaller the actual process is that's on it, the more things it can pack onto a chip.
I almost want Vince to jump in the chat and explain himself, but you know, not today.
More transistors on a chip. The smaller the number, the more transistors, the more processing power, the more efficiency, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. But yeah, what he's saying is true. Is that those chips that are in it are ubiquitous. They're everywhere now. Like it's like the default computer. If you went to RePC or something like that, almost any computer you would grab would have, at the very least, an older chipset like that. And it's true. But for the developers to keep having to make games for that, and then have to scale it up to be on like newer and newer things, and that's more SKUs of things that they have to. You ideally you'd want everything to be on current gen, which would be like PS5. Xbox Series, PC stuff, so you wouldn't have to like split your team up to work on this other thing. And if it's not going to work on the PS4, then that might have to be a feature or a graphic setting that they have to take out the whole game going forward. So it's little things like that that hold you back. So the PS4 is super popular, sold over 100 million units, and it's going to be around for a while. They're still going to make games for it for a while because you can't ignore over 100 million people. But there's going to come a time, probably in the next 2 or 3 years, where everything will be totally next gen. That being said, they were still making Dreamcast games until like 2015. So that's about it. I just thought I would just point that out. They're hard to find.
We don't want to know what you do at night.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing. London's just being a weirdo. She plays with her unit.
Nice. So we'll just try to breeze over this one too, and then we'll go do our break, and then we can tackle the big story. Sound good?
What big story? Was there a big story?
I don't know. There may have been a little something that happened last week in video games that probably everyone's covered to death, but we're still going to cover it here. But we'll cover that after the break. What's up?
Nothing. We're going to go break. I'm moving one of my stories before the big stories.
Okay.
Because the big story has to be the ender. As long as London saw that I did that, it's all Gucci. Wait. Oh, and Vince has a new N64 cart in the mail. What the hell? That's chaotic. That's
wow.
Nuts. Okay.
A new N64 cart in the mail, like hasn't been opened since then. Wow, that's crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Well, Maniacs. Wait. Oh yeah. Do the one we're gonna graze over, and then we'll go to that break.
Okay. Let me see.
Battlefield. What?
Yes. Battlefield. EA and DICE are on sort of rumored to be saying that they're very disappointed with how Battlefield 2042 came out, and they're looking to make either the game itself or portions of the game free to play, which I find hilarious because anybody who's watched the show for any amount of time and they've heard me talk about the Battlefield games, I think the Battlefield series kind of peaked around 2010 to about 2012 because at that time you had Bad Company 2, which many people still argue is one of the best, if not the best, Battlefield game. Then you also had Battlefield Heroes, which is a really cartoony but really fun shooter. That was a free-to-play game on PC. And then you had Battlefield Free-to-Play, which was kind of like a gritty, like more realistic, more like a traditional Battlefield game, but that was also free-to-play. So you had all three of those at the same time, and they were all fantastic. I played all of them, like, to death. Well, they cut off the two free-to-plays because Battlefield 3 was around the corner, and they wanted to funnel everyone into Battlefield 3. And then they've had Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 4, 5, Battlefield 1, all this stuff since then, right? So I think it's funny that they cut off their 2 free-to-play games right at their peak to release all those games, and then all these years later, their big game might go free-to-play. So like they just went in like a big-ass circle. But this one's unintentional. But basically, the rumor is that they're thinking about spinning off the Portal mode. And for those that don't know, the Portal mode in Battlefield 2042, it's also so weird. Everybody was screaming since Bad Company 2 that they wanted a sequel to 2041, which was a sci-fi one that came out like in the early 2000s. Everybody was screaming even back then in 2010 that they wanted a sequel to that. Fast forward 2021, 2022, but they get the sequel to it finally, and it's this mess. But Portal mode inside of it is just a separate mode inside the game that lets you play maps and play through the functionality of previous Battlefield games. So there's maps and guns and stuff from Bad Company 2. There's bits of Bad Company 2 basically inside of this. There's stuff from Battlefield 3 and one other Battlefield game. I can't remember what it was. But that turned out to be more popular than the rest of the game, and people were playing that more to level up and stuff like that or rank up. EA screwed that up. They took away the experience for doing that. So if you're doing it, it's just for love. You're not actually leveling up. So now they're talking about spinning that off into the free-to-play section, which you can just go buy the other games and have the whole game. You know how much Bad Company 2 is on Steam? It's basically free. It's like $4 right now. It's so I don't know. It's and people still play that game. There's still a couple tens of thousands of people still playing Bad Company 2 from like 2010. It's just a mess, and I don't know. I could go on for hours, but you guys have any feelings on this?
Yeah, I know. I know that those side versions have these crazy fan bases, but free to play is the future. It makes so much sense. Look at the impact that Genshin has, League of Legends, Defense of the Ancients, and I cannot believe a fighter hasn't stepped into it yet. The fighting game genre is the weakest of all of the old school game styles. Oh, that's not true. Something came in as a free-to-play game, but it sucked.
I mean, technically, there's like Pokemon Fighters.
Oh yeah, you know that's like
I'm sure there is, but there's not like a big mainstream one. Like there's no like free-to-play Street Fighter or something like that.
Yeah, if Street Fighter comes out of the gates as free, that'll be a game changer.
But it's
they might.
Here's the thing though, Capcom was broke, and now they're not. Like now they're balling.
But so the thing is, they make so much of their money off of microtransactions, and they got to understand that they're not going to make their Street Fighter money off of the $60 price tag.
But here's the thing, with that being said, and us knowing that, and them knowing that, it's a very thin line between doing something right, and in this case, I'll just use an example, Final Fantasy 14, to doing something wrong, you know, where it's egregious, over the line, you know, name a game, basically, that has those features in it. So it could go either way. And Capcom, I don't know, they've been doing really, really well. All their success is pretty much well deserved.
Fingers crossed, man.
They've been released. I know. And
they've made some whiffs before. Remember? Yeah, we talked about this on the podcast, 2 years ago, when Automodelista bailed, like freaking just took a gigantic dump.
Yeah.
Everybody was pretty upset.
So it's 50-50, and half of that it could be bad. So we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, that's it. Unless you guys had anything to add to that.
Here's hoping. I'm saying Battlefield as a free-to-play makes sense. I don't know, Sagebell. Like, if you have a favorite game that switched to free-to-play, would you be okay with it?
I mean...
Wait, is Dead by Daylight free-to-play anyway?
No, but they've been free. Like there's been free weekends, or it's been on Game Pass, so you still get the like.
How much is Dead by Daylight?
Is it $20, $30?
I would put it on the 30, and it's $20.
$20, okay.
I think that's a good price point. It's like we're not.
That's my magic number.
You
gotta care a little bit.
Yeah, it's $20, and then you can optionally buy the DLC characters. Now all the characters exist in the game, so you still can play against them. You just can't play as them. Ones that are any of them that are non licensed characters, you can buy in game with in-game currency.
Got it.
So
that's the move.
only licensed characters do you have to pay for.
Yeah, and
Which
you're right.
makes sense because of the way the money works. I get
Yeah.
that. I get
It-
that actually makes the most sense.
Yeah, and you're right though that like $20 price point is like that's when you're gonna get the majority of people buying stuff, because like if you look at on like what's Steam stats, if you type in your own profile, it'll show you like how many games you own, what games you bought for what price, and stuff like that. Like the vast majority of my almost 1,500 games now were for $20. They're like right in that $20 range. So yeah. Yep.
Okay,
Oh.
moving on. Oh, go ahead.
It's relevant to potentially moving on, but it's still on in Dead by Daylight. So remember they released a Hellraiser chapter?
Yeah.
And everybody got all up in arms about it because the company that specifically made that character deals with NFTs, and that one DLC NFT. But the company, like the Dead by Daylight company, this is like recent knowledge, they didn't actually know about that until it was like, so the company who made the Hellraiser expansion set.
And I remember this was a little bit right after Steam said they were going to ban games for NFTs. So everybody was thinking, like, what are they going to pull? Is it worth it pulling it off of Steam just to throw your NFTs in there? Or is Epic going to pay you to come over there to make up the difference for not being on Steam or what?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, this was like about a week after that, or a couple of days after that, or something like that. Well, cool. Uh-oh. We're missing you.
Guns? Oh, Derek.
Yeah. Hey, Derek, you're muted.
Stotty's in chat, baby.
Nice.
Now it's a podcast. Now that we're 30 minutes in, we're going to do the last topic before the big topic and reset. This is going to involve...
I thought that was our last topic before the big topic.
No, it wasn't. I snuck something in there on column number 9.
Did we do our break?
Not yet. We're about to do our break.
Just do our break and then start with the soft topic.
Okay, let's go to the break. And Maniacs, if you haven't already followed us yet, we are the Salt Tier Podcast. That's at Salt Tier Podcast. Salt Tier Pod. Salt Tier _pod on Twitter and Instagram. We are Salt Tier Podcast on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Follow us, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. YouTube is helpful, but really we're trying to get as many people on the Twitch and the Twitter and trying to get out from the Zuck heel. Because Facebook and Instagram...
Who?
Exactly. There's like no interaction there.
No, you mean Meta?
Yeah, well, yeah, whoever that is. So Twitter and Twitch, we're trying to lean into a little more. We have not had the discussion with our overlords about Discord being something, but that's probably in the future, because us getting a link through a Facebook chat is kind of ridiculous. Like, we should move to Discord. That's a no-brainer. Right? We're all on Discord.
I don't think Discord has like a broadcasting though, do they?
No, they don't, but we just need something to talk and throw links.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
He's saying that us, instead of using Messenger, should use Discord.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't want Zuck seeing us. We're basically talking about how much
Discord,
Facebook
and anyone can join.
Hey, Facebook. Hey, Facebook, shut us down. I dare you. Are you going to shadow ban us?
They're not listening. They're too busy. I don't know.
Hey, listen, you're going to shadow ban our 30 dedicated listeners?
All of them? They're building houses in the metaverse to sell for like $10 million.
They're building houses on Mars. But as also part of our reset, you know, I want to say this before the end of the episode. Use your dollars to support the companies that you really like. Take 5 minutes and find out who owns the company that makes the game you like. It's such a little detail, but it really does matter. And, you know, play more indie games. Play more Capcom games.
Yeah, that struggling indie company, Capcom, eh?
Yeah, we're about to jump into a topic about a super conglomerate with an absolute toxic work situation, and you can't support people that work in that. It's just, it doesn't equate to better games. Like, that's not going to be a thing.
No, actually, it makes them worse.
Hi, Rosie.
Yeah, actually, it makes it worse. Because imagine trying to get up and like especially like if that's your dream job and you're trying to like go in there and all that crap's happening.
Oh, and also our beautiful Vince Rants. Discord has broadcasting also.
Okay.
Because he knows. He's our sixth Beatle. But also, I hope you maniacs at home while you're listening to us rant. Look at how I connected that. We are sponsored by Voodoo Ranger IPA. I'll hold up my thing. They're a fantastic line of IPAs from the New Belgium company.
Right.
B Corp certified, employee owned, based out of Colorado. And a whimsical take on an otherwise serious neckbeard QAnon-looking asshole truck-driving IPA drinkers. We're talking about cool IPAs with a diverse line of stuff that supports a lot of other artists and other podcasters and gamers. And what an Instagram account they have. Do they have a TikTok?
Not that I've seen.
Okay.
Well,
Oh, we're getting muscled by the Risotto King. We got to get to the baby topic because we got the big topic. Baby topic. London, if you could cue that up, we got one of my favorite YouTubers in the world. That's Sugar Punch Design Works. It's the animator that always critiques NRS's terrible animations, loves Guilty Gear and Arc Systems. He has recently done a video on. He has a new series called Style Select, and if you want to scrub a little further there, London, to the middle and make it full screen. He does a whole thing on fighting games with gun characters. And it's such a ridiculous idea because if you have a gun, you would beat someone with fists. But it's about how creative you could be to be a zoner. Or you could be a rushdown. And it's just, I haven't seen anybody do such a comprehensive video on guns and fighting games. Because if you think about it, and Sagebell knows this because Sagebell, when it comes to fighting games, is pretty knowledgeable about Soul Calibur. There are, at any given time, if you try to stay out of Cervantes's range, he'll just pull out his freaking pistol, and it's instant. It sucks. Like, you don't want him to do that. And it does a lot of damage. And it kind of goes over the different ways that people have designed characters around guns. And it's super interesting. Highly recommend you check out that video and everything they do. And he gives a lot of credit to John Woo films The Killer and Hard Boiled, Bad Boys, John Wick, and of course, Equilibrium. You know, the movies that made gun fu and fighting with guns a thing. I mean, that all, Devil May Cry was before that, but you get it. That was my hot take on that. Any words about this idea? Do you think that's interesting? Do you have any gun characters and fighting games that you like?
Isn't Noelle Vermillion a gun?
Yes, from BlazBlue, they talk about her a lot.
I was like, you were like, when you said Soul Calibur, I was like, I was thinking all about BlazBlue. I don't remember anything.
Yeah, the only gun in Soul Calibur, like I said, I could think of was Cervantes.
Yeah.
And what a piece of shit move that was. You know how like Cervantes has a lot of wake up and hit stun pressure, and you finally backdash away from him far enough, and he just goes, and you're like, fuck you, man! I just got out of your range. You're gonna shoot me?
Yep.
Cervantes is a piece of work.
I think Cable.
Yeah, Cable's a gun character. Like, look, these are all different kinds of gun characters. It's such a fascinating take. Scope it out. Sugar Punch works. Maybe don't scope it out if you like NRS games. He trashes them pretty hard. He hates NRS character design. Thank you, London. And from here, I move it to the senior editor and producer of this show, the grown-ass man. Some say
You just give me a title.
he has 2 PCs running Final Fantasy 14 as we speak. We're talking about the save rings. Let's talk about this big news, baby.
What news is that? I mean, it's just been pretty quiet the last week in video games. What are you talking about?
Eat shit. Come on, let's move. We got a whole 15 minutes.
Well, for those living under a rock and for those who are reliant on us for your news information, you poor bastards, this is last week, Microsoft announced a purchase in cash of Activision Blizzard. Yes, that's right. Activision Blizzard, all of it. All of it. Remember a couple months ago, about a year and a half ago, we were talking about like how crazy it was that they dropped $7 billion for not just Bethesda, but their whole parent company. So they didn't buy Bethesda. They bought the company that owns Bethesda. This deal, they spent $68.7 billion. That's 10 times as much almost as what they spent on all of Bethesda and their parent company. That's how much did they spend for Minecraft? Like $2 billion? Minecraft seems like a freaking steal right now for $2 billion. They've already way made that money back on Minecraft alone.
I would say it's like $1 billion per, or like however many billions per franchise is included in this.
You know what? Basically, if like franchise, yeah, you could say that franchise, and if you couldn't say that, you could say franchise and developers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just because it's Blizzard, it is a different team per game.
Yeah. I mean, and we're talking Activision too. So we're talking Treyarch. And here's the thing in Activision, everyone in Activision got pulled off their projects to work on Call of Duty. So will that continue? I don't think. Well, that'll continue until Microsoft takes back over. Then they're going to want all those companies to make a bunch of stuff because that's how you're going to end up making your money back. They're going to slam all this stuff on Game Pass. But let's go over the details first. So this got announced last week sometime, like last Tuesday, I think. I think it was right after the podcast, or when we were going to have the podcast. I think it was Tuesday.
Tuesday.
They're going to pay $68.7 billion. This is a cash deal. They're buying all of their shares for $95 a stock, which if you're looking at before, their shares were down to $65 a stock, down from about $130 was their high. It closed the other day at about 85 or 86, so it's already gone up a little bit. So deals are probably going to take about a year and a half, about 12 to 18 months for it to close. Until then, Microsoft and Activision are going to remain completely separate. They're each going to do their own thing. If you're wondering about Bobby Kotick, the CEO who's been behind the wheel this whole time since 1991. Oh, there's some other stories with him since this stuff came out, but we'll get to him. But basically, if you're worried about him, odds are he's out. Microsoft wouldn't want any of that up in there, but he's going to leave with a golden parachute. You're probably looking at about a $300 million buyout for this guy if you include his shares. And
fuck that guy. God, I hate that shit.
So it's already he's already out of there. Microsoft has already expressed their intention to keep the multi-platform games multi-platform because a lot of people were freaking out over Call of Duty. Is that going to be Microsoft exclusive? Not yet. This isn't Microsoft talking. This is me talking. It's not going to be Microsoft exclusive yet, but I give it till about 2024, 2025. You might see it, but I don't know though. That's a lot of money to turn down because who knows how many PS5s will be out by then. So that would be a lot of money to turn down. But if it's only on PC and only on Xbox, it's going to be a lot of Xboxes getting sold.
If I might interject,
what's up?
I love this graphic. Look at all of the energy and talent and work has been gone into games like Overwatch, Diablo, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and StarCraft. And then they're like, oh yeah, Candy Crush. On equal playing field with these other 5 giants.
Candy Crush last year and probably over the last 5 years it's probably made more than all these games combined. And that
Such
includes
a
Call of
maker.
Duty. That includes Call of Duty.
Such a moneymaker.
Right here you see Activision Blizzard King. That's actually their name. People say Activision Blizzard, but the actual name of the company is Activision Blizzard King. King is actually on there because Candy Crush makes as much as all these other games put together, including Call of Duty.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Yeah,
the original mobile gotcha game.
Yep. And it's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It's already on Windows. I test that game on some devices. I mean, there's a whole lot to it. Yeah, these are all going to be added under Microsoft Game Studios. All these companies after the merger will report directly to Phil Spencer, who was president of Microsoft Gaming. But if you look now, his new title is CEO of Microsoft Gaming. So I think he got a promotion or something. So good on Phil because he's been kicking ass ever since he took over. And this is from a guy who started there in 1991 as an intern. And now this guy kind of worked his way up. He took over Xbox, has been doing an amazing job with it ever since. Like if he literally salvaged almost the unsalvageable.
I mean, he's been working almost as long as I've been alive.
Yeah.
I would hope he's improved some.
Yeah. But just here in like the last decade or so, he's really taken off. He's really become the face of all this and seems to be doing everything right. And in general, he seems like a nice guy. He seems like he wants to do a good job. He seems like he doesn't want to be a jerk, and it seems like he wants to improve things. So that is good. Also in this, they kind of snuck in a little press release in there, a little blurb. Game Pass is up to 25 million monthly subscribers, which is a lot. If you figure 25 million times 15, that's
how much is Steam up to?
Wait,
there's no subscription.
yeah, there's no sub.
But if you're talking,
you're right.
If you're talking registered users, a couple they stopped reporting that, but like 2016 there was like 150 million registered users for Steam, and that's like 5 years ago. So they're who knows? But there's no subscriptions on there. But as far as
the latest
registered...
post from Statistia,
2021
they have 120 million active players
on Steam.
120
million.
Okay.
Well, that's not their registered accounts though. It's probably double that if you count China and stuff like that.
Oh, word. I wonder what PlayStation Next is.
Next or Network?
What's the one that you have to pay for?
PSN Plus.
Oh, Plus?
They're at about, I don't even know on that one. But that's a lot of money for Game Pass. That's about $350 million a month. Just money coming in. So yeah, the main point of this is to, and they said this in the release too, they're trying to put as many Blizzard, Activision, King games onto Game Pass as they can right now, immediately, before the deal closes. So in theory, down the road, I mean, think about this. World of Warcraft needs a reboot. It needs its own Realm Reborn. And I'm talking about, if you don't know the backstory, Final Fantasy 14. It launched originally on the PS3 and the PC. It was terrible. It was out for about 2 years. They literally blew the game up, started over. It went away for about 2 years, and then came back out. So when it came back out, it was called Final Fantasy 14: A Realm Reborn. And very cleverly, they put the destruction of the old world into this game's lore. So this game kind of takes over from where that last one started. Talk about the calamity and everything got exploded and everything like that. So I thought that was pretty clever. So imagine that game is not on Xbox, nor was Final Fantasy 11, which was the last MMO. That was just a PC and a PlayStation only thing. And same thing with this one. So could you imagine, now that they own World of Warcraft, they do a Realm Reborn of World of Warcraft, and they make a console version that's only on Game Pass and on Xbox. It plays perfectly fine with the controller. Could you picture that? That's kind of crazy. And let's say you have Game Pass and you want to play it. Your sub's paid for because it's part of the Game Pass deal. So you know how many people they would get to sign up for Game Pass, might not even touch anything else, but would be there just for World of Warcraft with the controller on their TV, and it works with the PC version, and it's a complete reboot and everything like that. That in itself would almost pay for this whole deal by itself eventually over time.
All right. That said, my homie, we got the Prince of Parmesan, the region of Rigatoni, and the Sultan of Spaghetti on our case. What's your closing statement for the merger? How do friends follow you? We're outroing.
My closing statement on the merger is I'm kind of torn on this. On one hand, things can't get worse at Activision Blizzard. Like seriously, they couldn't be worse. So they've got nowhere to go but up from here. Microsoft seems to want to do the right thing. They seem to want to offer value to their customers. They seem to want to put everything on different platforms so you're not locked to one thing to play the games. But that being said, this is corporate America. Microsoft's track record, they have a 50-50 track record when it comes to acquisitions. Because they bought Nokia.
They're better than EA. They're better than EA.
Yes, they are. They don't buy stuff for the intent of they don't care if it goes away or not. They'll at least try to make some money off of it. So you have good acquisitions like Minecraft. They done a bang-up job with that. But then you also have Nokia. So you got your good and your bad. So this could go either way. All I'll say is I look forward to seeing the changes that are coming, because whatever they are, they will end up being kind of by default more consumer friendly than they were before. I'm glad that they're going to have a say in what's going on internally at Activision Blizzard, because coming from someone who's worked at Microsoft more than once, they don't put up with that shit. You're not going to be in there drinking people's breast milk and having Cosby sweets at convention. Like that's not going to fly over there at all. So it'd be good to have the big brother in there being like, nope, you're not doing this no more. And if you do, then you can work someplace else. We'll give you a good referral, but you ain't working here.
That makes sense. I get that. That's a good viewpoint to have.
Yeah. So to me, that's what I'm looking at. Cautiously optimistic, because like I said, it couldn't have been any worse. And yeah. They can find me. I'd be around. Hit me up on the podcast. Hit me up on the Steam group.
Say your Twitter. You're active enough on Twitter. Just say your Twitter handle, you jackass.
My Twitter, I'd be sulking, but I'm at V-Gaming if you want to follow me.
Thank you. At V-Gaming on Twitter.
Yeah, but I'm hardly ever on there, so I don't know what you're gonna do. I'd be stalking. But I'll kick it over to Sage Bell, and we can say goodbye to her background. Say goodbye to that office. Bye, office. It's been real. You should take a picture, and on the next one we'll have like a in memorandum. Have a little secret.
Next time you'll see me at my bed in the background because I have a studio apartment.
Nice.
So catch me on Twitch and Twitter at SageBell. I am most active there. I will start streaming again next week on Twitch. So I might do like a subathon to get people in. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Nice.
And yeah,
on that fiber.
On that Google Fiber.
Yeah.
I get Google Fiber in my apartment.
Google
That's
Fi.
crazy. That's crazy.
I also have a gym and a rooftop barbecue area, and I can see the Space Needle.
Oh,
nice.
Damn.
And
Wait, what neighborhood is this? Oh no, don't worry about it. Yeah, I forgot we're streaming live in public.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you off chat, but good for you.
Yeah,
you're within 100 miles of the Space Needle. Good to know.
On a non-foggy day.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, if it's been like the last week, you weren't seeing nothing.
Yeah. Are there even trees anymore?
I don't know.
So dark.
No.
What are trees?
Happy for that. I can't wait to see the new podcasts, the new streaming, and your new setup, and in beautiful, beautiful Google Fi. So good for you.
Nice.
And down to you.
Maniacs, thanks for joining us. We are brought to you by the beautiful Risotto God, by Voodoo Ranger IPA, Lauren, and all of her wonderfulness. Glasses up, Slancha, my freaks of nature. There you go. Bam.
Oh.
You can follow me at Loud and Brown on Instagram, although it's chaos. You should follow me on my Twitter, which is at Loud and Brown. That one makes kind of more sense when it comes to gaming because fuck Zuck. I don't care. And I'll comment as much as I can on the Salt Tier Podcast Twitter, which is where we'll talk the most. Remember to like and subscribe, follow, and share the podcast at Salt_Tier_Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter and Twitch. Oh, sorry, not Twitter. Twitch and Facebook and YouTube and everything is Salt Tier Podcast. My closing statements is I want to play Overwatch again. Please get that son of a bitch out of that company so I can support a company wholeheartedly and not worry about it. In the meantime, I will be playing Guilty Gear and Halo Infinite with my homies. Drink Voodoo Ranger, smoke trees, punch Nazis. Thank you, everybody, for being there. Thanks to the 5th and 6th Beetle, Stoddy and Vince Rants. Blah! We love you. And I believe that's the entire episode.
Apparently, I'm going to be playing Unpacking Simulator.
Unpacking Simulator. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so something for your move, like to take your mind off of moving.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.